chapter 1, verse 2 says, Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospers. Meaning that God wants us to be in good health mentally, spiritually, and physically. Okay? Emotionally. That we are supposed to be in good health. And one of the ways that we can do that is just starting with our temple, our physical self. He created all of us in the likeness of Him. So He wants us to take care of our temple, take care of our body. And that happens through nutrition. It happens through our daily exercise. It happens through our daily walk, our daily prayers, our daily communion with Him as we read our word. And He wants us to know that it's very and vitally important for us to be in good health. One of the things that I'm going to be talking about today, or the main thing that I'm going to talk about today, is gut health. I've dealt with some issues with gut health for a while. Now I am fine, but I dealt with these issues for a long time, and it wasn't until maybe about 7 years ago or so where I started looking at the problems. Gut health is something that we completely overlook. People tell us to get into the gym, go exercise, and try to eat nutritionish and try to make sure that we are doing everything that we're supposed to do. People tell us to cook right, and make sure that you are getting up every day and being productive. But if you don't know why you're doing these things, if you don't know what your body actually needs, then it kind of comes to be a monotone type of routine, because what in the world are you even going to the gym for? Just to look good? Are you eating good just to say that you do? Or are you having reasonings behind this? Now my reasoning is that I want my temple to be great. I want it to be in good health. I want to be nutritionist. I want to make sure that I'm where I need to be mentally, spiritually, physically. Not only for myself, but for God to be able to use me. So gut health is a way for you to free your body of toxins. It starts, any type of health, any type of issue start in your gut and in your colon. And a lot of people don't know that. You know that your gut health is out of whack when you have increased bloating, mood swings, sugar cravings, constipation, fatigue, foggy thinking, just intestinal cramps. Whenever you're feeling weak, your immune system is out of whack. Even when you have yeast overgrowth. Yes, yeast overgrowth. You know that your gut is completely out of whack. So what exactly are you feeding yourself? What exactly are you doing for this to disrupt your gut, right? Some of the things that we do on a day-to-day basis that we don't even think about is the amount of sugar we intake. The refined carbs, the diets that are rich in red meat, the unhealthy fats, the processed foods, antibiotics that you take that your doctor sometimes will put you on that you don't need to be on in the first place, anti-inflammatory drugs, stress. Everything has an issue. Everything can play and wreak havoc on your health, and you don't even know it. So your gut is one of the main keys to your overall health. How your gut feels is a direct indication of how you will feel and also how you will look. Sometimes you get rashes, acne, eczema, all kind of things pop up on your skin when you know that your gut is out of whack. And from that, it can lead to pH being off. It can lead to just a lot of vaginal issues. It can lead to just not sleeping well, insomnia. It leads to so much when one thing in your body is out of whack. So when I first got on this journey of figuring out what was going on with my gut, I took a step back to really research. Research, number one, what I was putting into my body. Number two, why my body was acting this way in the first place. And I remember when I was in high school, I got on birth control pills. After I left high school, I no longer use those birth control pills, but I would go to the doctor here and there for antibiotics if I needed them, if I felt like something was wrong in my body. And my gut started to tell me that this isn't right. What you're doing to my body is not right, and you need to stop, because whenever you are on antibiotics or birth control pills, anything that messes up your flora, it can just simply eat at you. It eats at the good bacteria, and it makes you form the overgrowth of the yeast. It makes you form bad bacteria. And so all of the things that you think that you're doing to help your body is in turn hurting your body. And that's definitely not what we want. When I started looking at this stuff, I was so overwhelmed. You go on videos on YouTube and you research and you look at articles, and so many people were saying so many different things. And I had to take a step back to say, you know what? What's right for me? What's going to be good and beneficial for my body? Because everything that everyone else does is not always beneficial. So some of the things that I started to do was figure out healthy fats. I started to eat a lot of avocados in the mornings. I would put it on toast and just eat it as a breakfast. That started to help. I started to incorporate more nuts and seeds into my diet. Sunflower seeds, almonds, cashews. I started to look into yogurts. I love yogurt, but a lot of yogurts such as Yoplait, things like that, have a lot of sugar. Do you ever just pick up the yogurt whenever you're in the store, or pick up anything that you buy and look at the sugar content, look at the nutritional content in it? Or do you just buy it because it tastes good? See, a lot of the times we pick up foods that are so high in sugar to where we're not supposed to even be eating this stuff anyway because it's so processed. So now I eat Chobani. And it's a plain yogurt. I eat the plain yogurt. I believe it has about 4 grams per serving of sugar, if I'm not mistaken. And although it is a little bitter, and although it's not as sweet, you can make it sweet. You can buy granola. You can buy strawberries, blueberries, whatever kind of fruit you want, chop it up, put it on top of it, make you a yogurt parfait at home, and that is the healthier version, rather than going to the store and getting a strawberry Yoplait that already has the strawberry flavoring in it, and it has X amount of grams of sugar, and it's not doing your body any justice. So from there, I started to look at kombucha tea. I would always drink tea, but I started to look at what kind of teas I was intaking. Kombucha tea, more vitamin C. Fish, I started to eat more fish, salmon, any kind of fish that you can eat and consume that you like, with vegetables on the side, wild rice, just simple things that you can make, the changes you can make to your day-to-day diet or day-to-day foods, period. Even juicing. I started to juice, but I started to juice, I want to say maybe 2 years ago is when I really started my juicing thing, right? And my smoothies and all of that stuff. Because as you try to make sure that you are healthy, you have to look at the way you're eating. You have to look at what you're drinking. And one of the things that I completely had to cut out for spiritual purposes as well as nutritional purposes was alcohol. Alcohol is a poison and it will eat at your body, and it will eat at you, and you won't even know what's going on inside of your body. You gain weight from it. It's just really bad. And the first thing it does is interrupt your gut. Another thing is just going to the store, eating a lot of processed sugar. Cereals, things like that may be good, that they may say, oh, the granola is good in the granola bars, but yet that granola bar may have 23 grams of sugar in it. So you have to be mindful of what you're putting into your body. You have to be mindful of what you're intaking, because all of that stuff has a direct reaction to you. Everything, and so whenever you start to understand what's going on with your body, what kind of symptoms you're having, and then you can kind of understand why. Because you can take a step back and look at what you're eating on a day-to-day basis to see what kind of diet or what kind of nutritional value you have in the stuff that you put into your mouth. You have to watch that from the time you get up in the morning to the time you go to sleep at night. What are you eating? What are you drinking? What's your day-to-day routine looking like? Are you getting up in the morning, going to McDonald's, getting those little breakfast sandwiches? Are you, for lunch, what are you eating? Are you eating a nutritional breakfast to get your day started? Are you incorporating juices, smoothies throughout your day? What exactly are you putting into your body? Because that'll tell you why you're having the symptoms that you're having. That'll tell you a lot, you know. And so we tend to look at the internet a lot of the times for the wrong reasonings, and you have to start looking at the internet for informational values, you know, researching certain things, researching how your body works, researching how God created us, because he put all of these natural resources at our fingertips, such as vegetables, fruits, nuts, grains, all of those things he put on this earth for us to be able to intake, because he knew what our body would need, you know. And so you have to be mindful of those things. Another thing that I used to swear by is apple cider vinegar. And a lot of people say, you know, make sure you get the one with the mother. I completely agree. Apple cider vinegar does help your gut health, but it can also hurt your gut health. Do not just take apple cider vinegar on an empty stomach. Don't take it every day as if it's just some type of shot you need to be drinking. It is not for that. You know, it's number one, it's very good for bacteria. And it's good for infection, a lot of that stuff, inflammation. So you can even put a little bit of apple cider vinegar into one of your juices, put it into one of your smoothies. You can mix apple cider vinegar in with warm water, honey, lemons. Take it that way that you're not tasting it, because a lot of people don't like it. It's so many different ways for you to incorporate healthy eating into your day-to-day routine. Another thing that I kind of came across when I was trying to heal my gut is kimchi, which is basically like a pickled cabbage. Okay, this stuff it's fermented, right? So you can add this to your salads. That's what I added to, because that's the only way I can eat it. And you can add it to anything, and it says even on here you can cook it in like a fried rice. You can put it on grilled cheese, hot dogs, as a pizza topper. It's just something like if you eat jalapenos all the time, add the kimchi. If you're having issues with your gut health, get kimchi. If you don't like kimchi, there's kefir, which is another type of dairy product that I don't really eat a lot of dairy or consume a lot of dairy. So if that's only if you want dairy. I'll list a lot of the foods that you can eat and maybe be helpful for you in the description box below. Also, I was talking about chobani, and this is the one that I eat. Chobani, it is the non-fat plain Greek yogurt, 16 grams of protein, and the total sugars is 6 grams per serving of sugar. It's way better than going to the store and getting a yogurt that says that it has 12 to 15 grams of sugar per serving, because all of that sugar isn't doing anything in your body. All it's doing is barely breaking down, and then whenever it does break down, it's giving you so many health complications to where it's not even worth it. You know, another thing that I incorporate now in all of my meals is olive oil. Every time I cook, I use olive oil. It's very good for your gut health. I stay away from vegetable oil. I don't even buy it. Canola oil, I'll buy if I'm frying something. Or if a recipe may call for canola oil or something like that, I may use a little bit, but I really try to stay as far away from canola oil as humanly possible. I use olive oil, and I've been using avocado oil lately for everything. You have to just change up certain things that you do every morning, or sometimes at least 3 times a week. I'm eating on my bananas. Just making sure that you are snacking on things, making sure that when you go to the store, you stay on the outskirts of the grocery store and stop going down all those aisles. That's one thing that I have changed when I go grocery shopping. I stay on the outskirts more so. I go to the vegetable aisle, produce. I make sure I get more vegetables than I would, previously I get egg whites. I shop differently because I eat differently because I want my body to feel differently. When you want your body to feel good, you have to look at what you're intaking, right? So gut health has been something that I have dealt with in the past, overcome, right? Through research, through just looking at my day-to-day meals and the things that I'm doing and I wasn't doing, even exercise, all of those things help with your gut health. And a lot of things that you intake also disrupt your gut health. So you have to be so mindful whenever you are intaking anything. Because from your gut, you have the things that go into your liver, and your body just starts to break down organ by organ with all of the things that we put into it. And it's not worth it. If you want to be healthy and have a nice, just healthy life, and I'm not just talking about, I'm at 150 and I can roll out of bed in the morning and just simply get up and spring up like a spring chicken. Healthy. I mean, just mentally, spiritually healthy, true healthy. It's just a different feel. Even now, this morning, another thing that's good for gut health: smoothies. This smoothie has spinach, frozen strawberries, frozen bananas, and what else did I put into this? I used coconut water this morning instead of the usual cashew milk that I use. And I also put a little dash of hemp seeds and also a little dash of maca powder, which helps with your gut health, irregular menstrual cycles, things of that nature. And I'll make another video on that because I also had issues with irregular periods. I've had issues with mood swings, all kind of things. And all along, it was the things I was putting inside of my body. It was what I was putting inside of my temple, what I ate, what I drank. It all had a direct effect on my health. And I did not know that until, I had to come to a point of why am I feeling so fatigued? Why in the world, can I get out of bed in the morning? Why is my emotions out of whack? Why am I cramping more than normal during my menstrual cycle? And once you start figuring or asking yourself why, then at some point you have to sit down and say, okay, well, let me research some things, right? Let me figure out a way, because overall health isn't just a diet. It isn't something that you do once a month to detox and then you go back to eating however you want. It isn't, I'm going to take this juice cleanse for a couple of weeks, or I'm going to fast for a little while and I'm going to go back to eating how I normally eat. If you want to be healthy, completely healthy, it takes a change of mindset, right? It takes a change of your spirit, knowing that, okay, it's time for some changes, and you have to make those changes sparingly. You have to do everything little by little, not to overwhelm yourself or your body, but to do everything little by little. Even incorporating ginger. I juice a lot of ginger. If I'm not feeling well, ginger, I'm juicing oranges, I'm juicing lemons, putting it all together, mixing it up, making a health shot out of it, taking it, and it really truly helps. It's like food is health. And health is wealth. Knowledge is wealth. So you have to spread that knowledge, right? And I want everyone around me to be healthy, not just in the physical sense of the term, spiritually, and it just, everything comes together as one. So with that being said, I've purchased a few books, and my brother also gave me a couple of books. This one is Heal Your Whole Body. Right. I look at it whenever I have anything going on with myself. And it just talks about balancing your hormones. It talks about your liver. It talks about cleansing. It talks about everything. Everything. And I get a lot of my information from the book. I get a lot of my information from Googling. I research. I look at articles. And I've been doing this for a long time. Now, I am not a medical professional. And I'm not going to tell you what you can or what you cannot eat. But from my own experiences, from my own life, from the health issues I've had in the past, I know what helped my body. During that time when I was dealing with the gut health, I was also overweight, at least 30 pounds. And I had to kind of make up in my mind that this isn't the type of life I want to live, you know, and I want to be at a comfortable weight. I want to feel comfortable when I wake up in the morning, and I want to make sure that whatever I'm putting into my body helps me feel that way. I know that if I binge eat or if I go out and get a burger every day, I'm not going to feel good. I'm going to feel sluggish, you know. And even now, I have a couple cheat days out of the month. I make sure that I only eat one burger a month. I make sure I only eat, you know, fast food every now and then. You know, I have to be craving it. But you can tell when you've been eating well. You can tell when you eat bad how it makes your body feel. And that is a direct indication that what you're putting into your body isn't for you to be putting into your body in the first place. When people eat processed foods and people eat really bad all the time, they can't really tell that it's affecting them because that's how they eat all the time. But when you change up the way that you eat, the way that you think about things, and the way that you think about food, then it makes a difference. So with all that being said, this video is to help anyone dealing with gut health. And the number one thing I can say, if you are having any type of gut health issues, if you've been on antibiotics, if anything has torn up your stomach, your intestines, you know, your flora, and you're having those symptoms of fatigue and just simply not feeling well, right? And not thinking properly and clearly, I would just say start off with looking at what you're putting into your body on a day-to-day basis. I would say don't just get on a diet, because diets don't work. Okay, it is a lifestyle. This is something that you have to do daily. And don't get overwhelmed by the many people that tell you all the things that you should be doing, because what everyone does is not for everyone. Everyone's body is different. So I would also say watch your sugar intake. Look at those labels. Watch your processed food intake. Look at the good versus the bad of what you're eating. And also invest in a juicer, whether it's a $30 juicer, $100 juicer, whatever. Invest in a juicer and a Ninja or something to make you a smoothie, and start there. If you don't know any recipes, contact me. I will give you recipes for smoothies, for juices. And if you don't want to do that, get on Google. Recipes all over the place. Also, make sure that you understand why you're starting this journey, because this is not an overnight type of thing. Your body's not going to fix itself automatically, especially when we've grown up, you know, eating processed food and McDonald's and all of these things. It takes time. But through that time, you're going to learn a lot about yourself and learn a lot about your health. And that is what is most important. So with that being said, please like this video, share this video. If you have any questions, any concerns, email me, send me a message, anything that you need to do. I will be trying to post more videos on health, and not just, you know, physically healthy things, but spiritually as well, mentally as well. My next video, I am hoping to do an inflammation video and try to show you more types of foods and powders that you may use for inflammation. If you have any requests or you need any help with any recipes, please feel free to reach out. And I think that that's going to sum it up for today. So thank you so very much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Love you guys. Be in good health as your soul is in good health.